Good afternoon, everybody. What's going on? It's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United with another cheeky little stream for you lads and lasses. Yes, indeed. Good afternoon to you all. I hope you're all keeping well. Thank you very much for joining us and getting in here for the show. Sorry to keep you waiting there, guys. A few technical issues to fix before the stream got going there, but we've got the latest Manchester United news, all the latest goings on at the football club to dissect and discuss this afternoon over the next hour. Oh, yes, indeed. Thank you, everyone, for getting in here for the show. We've got 82 legends in here right at the start waiting. Shout out to you, legends. Do us a favour and smash that like button on it. Give us a massive thumbs up at the start of the show. You know it makes sense. Drop the thumbs ups. Give us a like spike and give us a share around on social media if you want as well. Big up Aaron for pinning the link to the top of the live chat there. Check out the Twitter link at the top and give us a repost to share us around. You know it makes sense. And big up everyone in the live chat. How you doing there, Keith? What's going on, Howard? Dimmy Maiden, Caleb Gamer, Ishan, Alan O'Donnell, Philip Chapman, Kingslayer, Howard. Get in there, Don Gungshi. How you doing today, mate? Madhouse. Yes, indeed. Prod by Palmaria, Slothbird Beard, James Whelan, Nikolai Lindquist, Timmy, Boniface, Stevie, Ian, Marek, Stachowski, Time is Up, Prakash Kumar, and everybody else as well. You know, thank you so much, Imzi. Welcome aboard, everybody. Yes, so do us a favour at the start of the show. Smash the like, smash the subscribe if you're new to the channel. Get yourself involved throughout the show. It's a fully interactive show. We will try and get everybody's thoughts and opinions read out as we go along, as long as you're not a complete douchebag about it. And, of course, we will cover all the latest United news in a no bullshit way. It's kind of what we do around here. Oh, yes. Guys, I don't know about you, but I feel like the ball bag of a camel right now. It's so hot and sweaty and horrible. What's going on, guys? This is the hottest day I can remember. I mean, is it just me? I don't know. I'm in this garage right now. I might as well be a Swedish sauna because it is sweat your bollocks off time in here. Seriously, I am melting. I'm absolutely melting. Smash a one in the live chat if you're melting as well. What's going on? It's not just hot, is it? This is like hot and humid and horrible. It's absolutely unbelievable. I don't even know what's going on here, guys. I feel horrendous. I feel like I'm being slow cooked right now. It's messed up. Tom Spank says it's bloody awful. Dean says it's baking. 33 degrees tomorrow. Oh my goodness me. I'm seriously melting. Wearing neoprene, says Timmy Maiden. What's going on there? Yes, it's proper melting us now. As hot as Maguire's armpit. You are. Lots of ones coming to the chat. It's so hot right now. It's like 97 in the USA where I'm right now and usually in 70s. Oh, fair play, go and see. That's pretty toasty as well. I don't speak in Fahrenheit, bro. We do degrees Celsius over here, my son. Nobody knows what 97 is, bro. Delia Smith has got in here with a super chat. Who is that? It's one of my moderators, is it? No, it's not. I don't know. Is that a fake spanner there I see? I don't know. Guys, Delia Smith says, where are you? Let's be having you. Bacon Brigade, assemble. Delia, you cheeky lady, you. What's going on there, Delia Smith? Thank you very much for getting in here with a £5 super chat. You what? Where are you? Let's be having you. Hey, thank you so much for the super chat there. That's pretty fun, though, isn't it? Oh, yeah, aircon in America. We don't have aircon. It is a moderator. Who is that? Who's changed? Which one of my moderators has changed their name to Delia Smith? Oh, it's Mikhail Kramer. Anyway, thank you so much for getting in here. Right, anyway, let's get stuck into the latest news and goings on at this football club, guys. This once great football club. Sadly, it is a bit of a debacle lately, of course. Soap opera vibes, terrible stuff going on. There's new reports and stuff coming out about Jadon Sancho and Erik Ten Hag's relationship at this moment in time and whether or not it can be rekindled. We'll get into that right now. So, Jadon Sancho, guys. Should we bring Jadon Sancho back? Yes or no? Answer in the live chat. Answers on a postcard. But this is the latest report that's come out. So apparently there is essentially a bit of a butting of heads taking place at the moment between Erik Ten Hag and Jadon Sancho. Jadon Sancho not happy with Erik Ten Hag, of course, talking about him publicly being a bad trainer. Sancho took umbrage to that and wanted to defend himself publicly on social media and did so. And of course, Ten Hag is the figure at United, the numero uno. He's the godfather. You come to me on the eve of losing to us in the Netherlands, and you insinuate I'm a liar for money. You know, he's the godfather around these parts, and Jadon Sancho, needed to toe the line a little bit there, but he did come out publicly and I guess criticise Erik Ten Hag's handling of that situation in one way or another. So, of course, there's a bit of an issue going on. There's a bit of a wedge that has been driven between Sancho and Ten Hag. There is a report here from Mark Ogden of ESPN that reports that Jadon Sancho... What's going on with my head, guys? Dude, I've just seen I've got a massive scratch across my head. Fuck's that all about, guys? Where's that come from? Bloody hell. Look at that, guys. I've just seen there's a big scratch across my head. Can you see that? Fucking hell, man. What's going on? That's messed up. I don't know. When I was brushing my hair, I must have just, scratched my head real bad. Fuck's going on there, guys? Look at that. I look like some sort of... I've got a big scar across my head, guys. Has that just appeared? Did I just scratch my head during the stream? Mate, I'm so confused about that. Look at that scratch on my head, guys. Fucking hell. Antony's been at me. Oh, no, I shouldn't be saying that, guys. Bloody hell. That's a poor joke, that one. Have I been around Antony since Kingston? I wasn't the only one who thought about it. Anyway, okay, so, bloody hell, guys. That is not good. What's going on there? I don't know. Anyway, Ribbery. Ribbery. Oh, bloody hell. Anyway, right, okay, so, that's really bad. Mark of the Pig says Gungshi. Look at that. It kind of looks kind of cool, though, doesn't it? I reckon rocking, chicks dig scars, don't they, guys? Look at that. Anyway, so, right, Jadon Sancho, this is what the report is between Mark Ogden in regards to between Sancho and Ten Hag at the moment. This is the report. It says Jadon Sancho is facing a battle to regain the support of his Manchester United teammates as well as Ten Hag following his angry reaction to being dropped for the defeat of Arsenal. So it does seem like perhaps there's some people within the United dressing room, not just Erik Ten Hag, that think that perhaps Jadon Sancho is a bit of a melter in terms of his training. Maybe players are fed up. So the story on ESPN suggests that, obviously after him posting that social media sort of reply to Erik Ten Hag's post-match claims that he wasn't in the squad due to bad training, apparently there's some players within United's dressing room that are not so happy about it, obviously. Sources have said that the players accept and respect Ten Hag's firm approach because it applies without exception to squad members. This is from ESPN. Regardless of their status, just look at the Cristiano Ronaldo situation. Obviously, he had to adhere to Erik Ten Hag's methods and ways of doing things. And if he didn't do that, then he was no different to anybody else in the squad, and he faced those punishments as well. Sources have said, of course, that the players accept what Ten Hag's sort of done here in regards to Sancho. I mean, nobody's going to come out and, I don't think, back Jadon Sancho publicly, because then they're on the chopping block as well. Apparently, Sancho's reaction on social media has gone down reasonably badly in the dressing room at Manchester United, I guess that's no surprise, really, because I think a lot of the players in the squad do really like Ten Hag. I think they respect Ten Hag and they respect his professional approach. And to be fair, if you're the sort of character in Man United's squad that is professional and does get your head down and work hard, then you'll probably respect what Ten Hag's methods are, because he's the sort of guy that demands the very best from people. It was the same for Ronaldo. He demands you to be on time. He demands you to, be professional. It's been the same for people like Garnacho or Rashford, who have faced punishments for being late and things like that. So, regardless of who they are, they need to be professional and they need to stick to sort of the plan. They need to adhere to Ten Hag's methods. And it does seem like, obviously, Sancho has not done that. Perhaps he has been lackadaisical in training. Perhaps he has, of course, had issues when it comes to his on-the-pitch performances as well. And now, of course, with what he's done off the pitch, responding to Erik Ten Hag the way he has done, it's just undermined what Ten Hag's trying to do. So it does seem that, this is Rob Dawson from the ESPN as well that's reporting that it seems like, and Mark Ogden, it seems like these players are essentially not happy with Sancho. Some players in the squad. Who knows if that's true? Take it with a pinch of salt. I'm sure Sancho's got friends within the United dressing room. I'm sure he's got maybe one or two people that dislike him as well. That's just life. There's always little cliques and factions in whatever sort of working environment you're in. So, but there is a report from ESPN, and you do have to take it with a pinch of salt, because I feel like ESPN have been on a bit of a character assassination tip of Jadon Sancho recently with some of their reports. We saw the report yesterday sort of insinuating that he was a difficult character to work with, and that he was an introvert at times, an extrovert at others, a bit moody. But that's just life, isn't it? And I think it was a bit of a strange article that came out yesterday from Rob Dawson and co. about Jadon Sancho's sort of character. But, you know, maybe it's true. Maybe there is a certain element of United's squad that are not happy with Jadon Sancho's outburst after the match and after Ten Hag had criticised him publicly. There's a belief that, of course, that Ten Hag was basically trying to get something out of Jadon Sancho, but not this. Ten Hag wanted Jadon Sancho to react in a positive manner, to go something along the lines of, you know what, criticise me publicly, call me a bad trainer, I'm going to show you what I'm all about by training like Rocky in Rocky 4 on the fucking mountain, my friends. Hearts on fire, strong desire, burning deep within, etc. You know what I mean? Like some serious, you know, training vibes. That's what we're talking about here. But no, he didn't get that. He got toys thrown out the pram instead. You know, he got the old baby treatment, pacifier in the face. So that's what Ten Hag had to contend with, and it's not a good look for Manchester United for our players to publicly come out and criticise the manager that way or insinuate that he's lying. Essentially, whatever you think about Sancho at United, what the manager says goes. And you have to toe the line at United, otherwise you'll be sacked off. That's been the same for whether it's Jose, whether it's Sir Alex. I mean, maybe not Ollie. You know, Ollie, let's face it, is like just your busy mate. But everybody else who's a disciplinarian type manager, they're going to want you to be respectful at all times. They're going to want you to be professional at all times. So this is not a good look for Manchester United. But anyway, look, there's another report here that says that there's little sympathy from Manchester United's players in the dressing room, as I say, for Sancho. This is what he says. It says there's a little sympathy for Jadon Sancho inside the Man United dressing room. The players have had enough of him. Most players accept and respect Erik Ten Hag's firm approach because it applies without exception to everyone in the squad, regardless of their status. Sancho's reaction has gone down badly within the dressing room, although it was not greeted with surprise. Wow, that is actually, you know, wow, that's a bold claim. It's a bold claim, to be fair, to say that a lot of players have had enough of him. What is this level of journalism? I don't know. It's a little bit of a reach. It's a bit of a reach. But anyway, okay, fair enough. Some players may well not be happy with Jadon Sancho. Anyway, so look, it was known that because of this rift, that maybe United were experimenting, or certainly at least exploring, the possibility of getting rid of Jadon Sancho. And reports have come out to suggest that United were willing to let Jadon Sancho go to Saudi Arabia if there was a suitable offer that came in. So Alex Crook reporting that United were prepared to sanction a move to Saudi Arabia for Jadon Sancho yesterday, but ultimately nobody was willing to meet their request for a £50 million obligation to buy. So apparently United want a $50 million obligation to buy in there if they were going to get a deal done. And apparently El Titi Faki were not prepared to do that, and were not prepared to actually put that in a contract, and were just wanting to take him on in a temporary capacity. And that's even if Jadon Sancho would have been prepared to go anyway. The reality is this situation with Ten Hag and United may be untenable now, and so perhaps Jadon Sancho is not going to play at all at Manchester United, and his options are only three, really. He either stays at United and festers on the bench until we can get rid of him and then move somewhere in like January or the summer, or he, like, you know, goes and joins, say, the Bundesliga in Jan, or I guess he would have gone to Saudi Arabia when the window was still open, but obviously it's not now. So, look, there's an understanding here from Ben Jacobs reporting that understanding on Jadon Sancho and Al Titi Faki is that the Saudi club did request the conditions of a deal yesterday in what's been termed as a small inquiry. They immediately ruled out a move. Sources close to the club indicate it was impossible because Manchester United wanted a loan with a £50 million obligation to buy. So, you know, it does seem like maybe there was just a conversation that took place here. Would you be interested in sending us Jadon or loaning us Jadon or etc.? And Man United said, yeah, sure, we'll get rid of that absolute underperforming prima donna egotistical meltbag if you give us £50 million at some point. And they've said, and now Titi Faki have said, no, thank you. Stevie Jeddar's gone, hey, mate, you're talking absolute fucking gufflang. We're not paying £50 million for Jadon Sancho, mate. You know, or something along those lines. So, yeah, don't think that was really too much of a strong basis for it, but it does seem like maybe United were open to selling him if you believe these reports. Let's have a look at Jadon Sancho's stats since joining. Let's have a look at Jadon Sancho's stats since joining, guys. Since joining Manchester United. These are Jadon Sancho's statistics. Jadon Sancho's stats since joining Manchester United in 2021. Appearances, 82. Goals, 12. Assists, 6. That's pretty shite, isn't it? That is pretty shite, whichever way you look at it. 18 goal contributions in 82 appearances. That is pretty gastastic, whichever way you look at it, guys. I mean, let's just have a little look at... Let's have a vote, actually, and just rate Jadon Sancho's Manchester United career right now out of 10 in the live chat. Thank you, Lynch616, for subscribing to the channel. Big up yourselves. Yeah, if you guys are new, hit the subscribe button. You can see we've hit the next mini milestone of 74.2k subs. Less than 800 subscribers away now from 75,000 subscribers. Take a second to hit that subscribe button if you're new to the show, everyone. And do smash the like on this video as well. It's free to like the video. All we ask is for a cheeky little like spike. Hit that thumbs up. It's free and it takes a second, and it does help us on the algorithm. So drop a little thumbs up on this video if you haven't done so. Nice one. Thank you, Lynch616, for subscribing also there, man. Yeah, rate his career at United so far out of 10. You have to factor in his price, his age, his reputation, his ability, his potential, everything that we thought we were getting. So we paid £73 million for this guy. He's on big wages as well, huge wages. I mean, honestly, based on the whole package, the money, the expectation we had, the wages, and how he's done, statistically speaking, I think he's like a 2 out of 10. He's not absolutely one of the total worst players we've ever had, such as like Alexis Sanchez or you know, Harry Maguire. No, even Maguire's on a par with Sancho, really. But certainly he's right down there. He hasn't really lived up to it, and he's not really exceeded expectations or even met expectations whatsoever. Certainly not exceeded expectations. So 2 out of 10 says Kingsdale, 1 says Boomy, 2 says Madhouse and Tom, 0 says Imsy, 4 says Big Bubba. Below average that. Very poor stats, isn't it? Very poor. Yeah, Alan O'Donnell says 3. Needs some discipline. Needs to kick up the arse with one of Ten Hag's wooden clogs, lad. Herd says 2. 1.5 says Far Out. Big Fat 0 says MC. 4 says Ian Pritch. 1 says Raw Gameplay. 4 says Mikhail. 4 says Highway. I mean, these nobody wants to be harsh to Jadon Sancho for the sake of it. This is what it seems like people think is that, yeah, okay, there is character assassination going on with Jadon, or maybe he's a scapegoat. I don't buy that. I mean, there's been lots of scapegoats in recent years. Harry Maguire's a massive scapegoat. You know, he's shite, but, you know, he has been scapegoated a lot of the football club, no doubt about it. Time is up, Gerard, all saying 3 out of 10. But the fact is that Sancho, he's just not really performed. That's the reality. So, yeah, you can say, oh, he's been harshly treated, but not really. He's actually been given reasonable amounts of chances at the football club. Ten Hag even let him have a few months off last season to try and go and get mentally right. And people forget that that's the case, that Ten Hag did try with Jadon Sancho for a significant amount of time to try and sort of help him and bring him back into it. Hey, Fan Reactions Football Club, what's going on there? How you doing? He says he's on par with Pepe at Arsenal. Yeah, I think that's fair. That is actually completely fair, you know, Fan Reactions Football Club. You're absolutely bang right. I couldn't agree more with you. I agree with that statement. He is about on that same par. Berber, you legend, what's going on? Says Sancho needs to man up and stop making excuses. Grow some balls, Jadon. Hey, fair play to you there, Don Berber, lad. Yeah, can't argue with what you're saying, really. I do believe you're absolutely right, and that Jadon Sancho needs to step up here. If he wants to, you know, be a great professional throughout his career and have a wonderful career, he's going to have to learn a little thing called the right mentality. He's going to have to start working harder, and he's going to have to stop being so sensitive as well. It's easy to say, we don't know the lives of these footballers, but he needs to man up. I completely agree with you. Thank you, Berber. You too, my son. How you doing there? Lord PlayStation, get in there. Says we got 100 likes already. Thank you, everyone, for hitting the thumbs ups. Keep smashing the likes. That's awesome. Thank you for subscribing there as well. Vince Vega, get in there, my son. Bazil, Madziki, and Afan. Appreciate you, legends, hitting the subscribe button. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. Exactly, Paul. Old school discipline from Ten Hag. Yeah, definitely, to right the ship. Let's give him a kick up the arse, my son. Make him walk the plank. No, it's fair. So this guy's publicly undermined Ten Hag, and Ten Hag's going to have to basically respond to keep that level of authority at United. You know, you can't really be seen bending over to player power, in my opinion, especially when you're a type of manager that Ten Hag is. I mean, let's have a look at these comments from Ryan Giggs. So Ryan Giggs, maybe not the best person to be going to for comments right now based on what's been happening this week. But look, Ryan Giggs, has been talking about Jadon Sancho on Webby and O'Neill, and we've got some quotes to show you here as well on screen. So, look, basically, Giggs thinks that this whole Ten Hag situation is basically the last sort of straw, really, to try and give him a kick up the arse. So, look at this. Ryan Giggs says, Ten Hag sent him Sancho away to get fit. He's tried him in different positions, and for me, calling him out publicly is probably the last straw or the last try to get the best out of Sancho. That's honestly how I feel as well, to be fair. I feel like that was a motivationary tool from Erik Ten Hag to talk about him publicly, to try and give him that kick up the arse that he needs, to try and squash his ego a little bit, and to make him realise that he isn't going to just coast through things at Manchester United. I'm sure Ten Hag's tried with Sancho behind the scenes and probably had conversations about working harder and doing better and, etc., and giving him chances to go away and get himself right mentally and physically. And I think this is probably correct from Ryan Giggs, in the sense that Ten Hag probably used this as a way of just a final way to try and motivate the lad. Unfortunately, it has backfired. It's backfired seriously because, look, Sancho took immediately to social media to defend himself. So I think this is a fair comment here from Giggsy that suggests that Ten Hag sent him away, helped him, tried all these different methods, and this was just the final straw, really, to try and get him to get back on track. And sadly, it has backfired. So will there be a way back for Sancho after this response from Jadon? I mean, probably not. It's actually quite unlikely to think that Ten Hag's going to now be happy with the way that he responded. I mean, I suppose with what's going on with Antony, Dos Santos at the moment, there is an element of, we do need some right wingers. In fact, I saw a meme earlier, and I probably shouldn't even mention this because it's not really worth joking around, is it? But my brother sent me a meme on WhatsApp, and it did make me chuckle, even though it's horrible. I've got a bit of a dark humour, though. And it was a picture of Margot Robbie in the Barbie car on the left, and it said Manchester United right wingers versus fullbacks, and it had a picture of Margot Robbie in the Barbie car going, hey. And then it said on the right-hand side, it had Man United right wingers against women, and it had a picture of Muhammad Ali boxing someone. So, that is pretty dark humour, isn't it? Maybe you shouldn't laugh about that. That's what the sort of thing my brother sends me. Shame on you, Tom. Shame on you, Tom. But anyway, I'm just saying there's all these issues going on at Manchester United, and because of that Antony situation, just perhaps Jadon Sancho might be brought back into the side, right? Might be brought back into the side. So we'll have to wait and see how Ten Hag sort of plays this situation, but I can't really see him. I don't know. Let's ask the live chat. This is not what you want. This is not what you think's right. I'm going to ask you, what do you think Erik Ten Hag is going to do? Do you think Erik Ten Hag is going to drop Jadon Sancho, maybe try and sell him in the future? Do you think he'll drop him, or do you think he'll bring him back in or keep him? Let's get a drop or keep vote in the live chat on Jadon Sancho very quickly for Ten Hag and the stance that Ten Hag takes. Let's see. Kyle Smith, thank you very much for getting in here, bro, with your super chat. He says, Pepe, 112 appearances, 27 goals, 21 assists. Antony and Sancho, 112 appearances, 20 goals, 9 assists. Is that the right stats, Kyle? That's horrendous, bro. Are you for real? That's fucking gashtastic. Crikey, thank you for getting in here with that, bro. Appreciate that. Get in there, Kyle. Timmy says, Giggsy for United press officer. Oh, bloody hell. 793, maybe so, maybe so. Drop, says Madhouse. Stoic thinks that Ten Hag will drop in. So does Paul, Stephen, Money, and Raw. Second chance, I think, says Dean. Dimmy says drop. I think Sancho definitely needs to apologise. If he's going to try and do some sort of damage repair here, he's going to have to certainly apologise and publicly apologise. I think he's going to have to post something on his social media where he was so quick to post that rebuttal to Ten Hag previously. And he's going to have to, do something and make a gesture and apologise and say he was wrong. And say maybe Ten Hag was right to criticise, because I have been trading like a complete fucking melt stick. Right, let's have a look at this as well from Giggsy. Give it Giggsy to end of the season. He got the job on a technicality of a legend who recommended you. You are nothing. You are a fool, and you're a waste of time. Good night. David Moyes, you are the biggest fool in Manchester. So Ryan Giggs, more quotes on Jadon Sancho's situation. He says, when he came to the club, I was a fan. I thought that he could get better, could improve, which he's not really done in the short space of time he's been at the club. True words spoken from Ryan Giggs on Webby and O'Neill here. True words spoken, no doubt about that situation. I think that has to be said. It's true, he hasn't really kicked on. In fact, you could argue he's gone backwards. You look at his statistics over in the Bundesliga. Yeah, it's the Bundesliga. Yeah, it's a German Farmers League. It's a pig raisers league, a Schweinsteiger's league. That's what Schweinsteiger means in German. I'm not saying Schweinsteiger shit. He's awesome. But you know what I'm saying? Schweinsteiger means pig raiser. It's a Schweinsteiger's league over there, guys. And that basically means that he can get better statistics. But if you look at his statistics over there, he's a teenager. He's tearing up the league. Comes to United and he shrivels up, guys. Shrivels up. And it's sad to see. Don't know why he's done it. So I agree with Giggs again here. I don't agree with a lot of what Giggs has said or done necessarily. But I agree with Giggs here when he says, when he came to the club, I was a fan. I thought that he could get better and could improve. We all thought that. We thought we were getting this young buck, 21 years of age, for £73 million, who was on the brink of greatness. I genuinely thought that. Smash a 1 in the chat, guys, if you thought Jadon Sancho was going to be an absolute baller at Man United. It's easy to say now in hindsight that he's not. But at the time, I genuinely did think this guy's going to go on and kick on and just get better and better and better and better over the next couple of seasons. And be a really good player for us based on his career development over in the Bundesliga. He seemed like he had maybe the right mentality as well at the time, because he was somebody that was prepared to leave the likes of City, to go over to Germany and play in a foreign league, to go and get experience and play football. And that is something you don't see that often. So I thought maybe he had the right mentality there, but it turns out I was wrong. The KU and everyone else said yes. You promised you didn't, says Tommy. Well, fair enough then. You was wrong. I was wrong. I mean, if you go and look at actual footage of Jadon Sancho tearing up the Bundesliga, he looks like an absolute classy individual and a classy player. He really does. You can't deny his ability on the ball, his shimmy, taking on players, his skills, his goal-scoring ability, his creation ability. You can't deny it. Maybe it makes him look a little bit better than he really is because the league's not the strongest. But still, though, he used to be much better than he is now. Crazy. Never rated him since Madhouse. And even when he was playing for England for a period of time, he looked really good for England. When he was getting selected by Southgate, he did really well for England for a spell. So it's pretty strange. Something has happened with the mentality of Jadon Sancho. I don't know if it's just like coming to United and catching the United disease, because we have been very mediocre for years as a club. I don't know if it's just him coming to United, getting that big paycheck, being happy with the money that he's getting, and then not being prepared to work as hard. Who knows? That can also happen to players. Tommy says we can't give up on him, got all the talent in the world. He does have fantastic talent. This is the point I'm making, really, yeah. That over in Bundesliga, if you look at his skill and his ability on the ball and what he did for England previously and stuff, he does look like a fantastic player. But he's just gone backwards at Manchester United. He's gone backwards. So, yeah, maybe we shouldn't give up on him, but look, it's down to Ten Hag, isn't it? And if Ten Hag feels like he's been undermined, perhaps he has to part ways with the football club. Red Adair, thank you for getting in here, bro, with your super chat, mate. Come on. Appreciate you, my son. He says, all these stories, it's got an inside mole feel for me, Pigsy. Who would know about the ex's women's coach? Nah, the whole lot stinks, says Red Adair. Who would know about it? Well, you know, the sex offenders register would know about it. You know what I mean, Red Adair? Sure, there's people that know about that at the football club, lad. I mean, it's bizarre, isn't it? Who knows why he was invited to that game, mate, and celebrated in the in the United Museum, essentially. It's pretty weird. I mean, I don't know. I think the timing of all of this is a bit suspect, mate. Maybe there is some sort of a PR shitstorm that's being, you know, sent towards Manchester United right now. It seems like it, with like one thing after another happening, you know, one thing after another taking place. I mean, as we've said, it's like we had that Greenwood stuff going on, we had this Antony stuff going on, then a couple more people coming out accusing Antony, then obviously Sancho situation with Ten Hag. Obviously that's not in the same ballpark, but what is going to happen next? What's actually going to happen next? Who knows? I don't even want to speculate. There's something coming. There's something coming. I feel like something horrendous is coming around the corner at Manchester United as well, because we've turned it to a soap opera. It's like they're just digging up so much dirt about this club at the moment, and sadly it seems like there is dirt to be dug up. And so obviously this club is facing scrutiny at the moment. It's facing a PR shitstorm and a backlash in loads of different ways. You know, we are making some very poor judgments, no doubt, as a football club, and it seems like a lot of stuff is coming out about us that's all negative. So it's pretty bad at the moment, you know. It is pretty bad. Berber says, I fancy myself in a foot race with Sancho, says Berber. Are you serious, Berber? Bloody hell. Crikey, you must be light to my son. Sancho's reasonably quick, sir. He's pretty fucking nippy, lad. Even after he's had a whole bunch of Frey Bentosses over the summer, bro. To be fair, but maybe you're lightning, mate. I don't know. Yeah, if we had a Netflix series, it would be a banger. Oh, it would be like keeping up with the Kardashians or something, wouldn't it? You know what I mean? It would be. It would be like some serious drama shit on the go, mate. It would be insane. You're right about that. Travis getting in here says, gash, gash, gash. I don't think Ten Hag's leaving, my lad. No. Tommy says, no more. Criminal checks are done on existing employees as well as prospective employees every 2 years for a professional body, I think. Yeah, there you go. So, obviously, he wasn't a prospective employee, was he? Or, he was an ex-employee from many years ago. But he was convicted of crimes in 2011. And surely somebody at the football club should know all about that. That's what's so crazy about that whole situation of inviting that guy along to a game. Is that he literally is a paedophile. I don't use that word lightly, but he literally is a pedo. You know what I mean? And so therefore, he was convicted in 2011 of those crimes, which means that surely Manchester United have him on a list that says, hey, don't let this guy in. Don't invite this guy to games. Surely they have him on a list, you would think, but apparently not. Apparently not. That's what's crazy about it. About that Jeff, whatever his fucking name is, guy. You know what I mean? Don't even want to talk about it, guy. He's obviously a complete dirtbag. It's just crazy that United actually invited that guy along to a game as a guest of honour. That's what's really crazy about it. Yeah, Thugger says we have him on a VIP list. Mate, what's going on? What sort of list is this? Is it the same sort of list of bloody Epstein Island or some shit? It's fucked up, isn't it? I know. Travis says literally the worst thing you can be, and they don't check. I know. It is absolutely bizarre. Quite unbelievable. Tommy says how he was able to stay at the club without getting found out is baffling. It's unreal, isn't it? Thank you, Aaron, for letting us know. He says we've got 10 reposts on Twitter. That's brilliant, guys. Thank you, every single one of you legends, for giving us a repost on Twitter. Make sure you do give us a repost if you're on Twitter. That will help the stream out. Also, we just hit 135 likes. Let's see if we can get to 169 likes, guys. Let's get a cheeky little Bacon Brigade like spike. Help us to boost up on the algorithm and compete against the clickbaiters and corporation wankers. Drop a thumbs up if you haven't done so. Hit the subscribe button if you're new. And strap yourselves in for the rest of the show. We are going to have a Q&A at the end of the show, as we always do as well, so stick around for that. Just want to get all this off my chest about Jadon Sancho, give you the latest news. But yeah, look, Giggsy's obviously discussed his thoughts and opinions on Sancho here, and I do actually agree with what Giggsy said largely. I think this was a method for Ten Hag to try and get the best out of Sancho. It's backfired, obviously. And I think that if we're looking at Sancho when he came, we all thought that he had all that it was required to go and develop into a really fantastic player for Man United. I genuinely believed that based on, what he did in the Bundesliga. But since he's come here, I think it is a weak mentality that's let him down here. Because as I've said before, and I don't want to repeat myself, but to be a top-tier footballer, to reach the very pinnacle of the game, you have to have not just the ability, but you also have to have the mentality. That's why people like Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, etc. are where they are and have had the careers they've had, because they work just about as hard or harder than anybody off the pitch as well. It's a mental game, but it's also, off the field in training, and these guys work hard, they take care of themselves, they give it their all, and that is why they are where they are. It's not just because of ability alone. There's been many accounts of players over the years who have the ability, but never reach the heights for whatever reason. I mean, that's a good topic, actually, guys. Let's just ask the live chat. Name some players who you thought at some point were going to go on and be absolutely amazing, but because they had the wrong mentality, even if they've got all the skill in the world, they never reach those heights. I'll start off. Paul Pogba, physically amazing, vision is fantastic, technical ability, physically a specimen. He should have done a lot more in the game than he actually did. But he rested on his laurels, I think. Got a World Cup, all the rest of it. Rested on his laurels, something like that. He could have quite easily gone on and been a fantastic player of his generation. But unfortunately, he's shite. And that's because of a mentality thing, I think. It's there's loads of players like that, to be fair. Hey, Red Adair, thank you very much for getting in here with a $4.99 super chat, lad. Come on, he says, the next story, get Red Pigs. Arnold wears his wife's wardrobe. Bloody hell, Red Adair. Well, look, I mean, in comparison to some of the other accusations that are going around, that wouldn't even make the 67th page, mate. You know what I mean? That would be like we just mentioned that and then move on, So, fair play to you. Thank you so much for getting in here. Interesting shouts here from everyone. Scholes, says Thomas Banks. Are you taking the piss? Scholes was literally, like, he exceeded all expectations. What are you talking about? Nani, that's another poor one if you ask me, Rajan. Nani was fantastic and had a great career. He was immense for Manchester United. What are you talking about? You're not understanding the game here, guys. What I meant to say is players who never fulfilled their potential. Ravel Morrison maybe is another one. Somebody that could have done some great things but didn't. What about Nani for? Nani was fucking immense, bro. What are you talking about? Anderson, sashimi, nah, that's not true either, because I thought Anderson, yeah, okay, he was limited though. You know, I think you guys aren't understanding this at all. Maradona. Okay, I guess Maradona could have been even better if he wasn't a massive cokehead. But Maradona's one of the best players of all time. You guys aren't understanding what I'm talking about. Yes, Colin Jr., Mario Balotelli. There's a good example. You get it. You get it, mate. Mario Balotelli, say what you want about him. What a player. He had everything required as well to be one of the best of his generation. I think that's fair to say. But did he continue with that sort of couple of great years that he had? No. And that's down to a mentality thing as well. That's a good one. Mario Balotelli. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Neymar's another one, actually, Rajat. I mean, less so because he has achieved a fair bit. But he's 31. He's gone to Saudi. Has he ever won a Ballon d'Or? You know, come on. This guy should have been one of those players of his generation. And sadly, he's not fulfilled his true potential there. That's fair. Maguire, very limited though, I think. Di Maria, disagree with that one, Kane. Di Maria's achieved a shitload in the game and is an absolute baller. Even though I hate him and he's a complete Dobby-looking snaky melter, I don't agree with you on that. I think Di Maria, you know, more or less reached his full potential and has had a tremendous career. I'm not so sure about that. Okay, at United, if you're talking about at United, but, you know... Anyway, Macheda's another one, Jabba. Yeah, thought there was going to be a lot more coming from Federico. No doubt. That's true, I guess. Yeah. Ben Arthur is a good shout. Jovic. Hulk. Okay, we're scraping the barrel now. Nani was a great... Oh, that's a good one, Dinesh and P-Lane. Adel Tarept. That is a very, very good one as well. Spot on, agree with you, yeah. Very true. Really, I did not know that. His name's actually Malcolm. So his initials are actually Meth. No way. Did you know Erik Ten Hag actually uses his middle name, Eric, and his first name's actually Malcolm? No way. His initials are Meth. What? And he looks like Heisenberg from Breaking Bad. A meth seller. No way. That's mental, isn't it? What? I'm the one who knocks. You know what I'm saying? What? Are you seriously blowing my mind there, Tommy Boyle? Give me a hell yeah in the live chat. And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold Meth extraordinaire himself, Erik Ten Hag, said so. Crikey. That's unbelievable. You've blown my mind there, mate. His name's fucking Malcolm. I'm just saying this now. I'm going to put this out there now, guys. No offense to anybody called Malcolm in the live chat, because there's probably somebody who's watched this channel before that's called Malcolm, but I'm just going to put it out there right now. Malcolm might be the shittest name ever. It actually might be the worst name ever. Imagine being called Malcolm. By the way, I've just realised, isn't Sin Games called Malcolm? Fuck. Sin Games, I'm so sorry, mate. I'm so fucking sorry, bro. Shit. Dude, you actually are. Oh, no. I've had a mare there, man. Sin Games, one of my bros. Don't tell him I said that. Don't tell him I said that, guys. I don't think he's here. Don't tell him I said that. Right, anyway. But it is a gash name, though. Anyway. Bloody hell. One of my friends and one of my moderators, Pigs, I've had a mare there, haven't I? Sin Games. Well, he goes by Mal. He goes by Mal. That's his name, is Mal. That's what I know him as. And I just realised Mal's probably short for Malcolm, isn't it? And the reason he shortened his name is because Malcolm's a gash name. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to be called Malcolm. You know what I'm saying? So he has to go by Mal just to avoid scrutiny. You know what I'm saying? Oh... Malcolm in the middle? Oh, dude! And it just so happens that Bryan Cranston, a.k.a. Heisenberg, a.k.a. the meth seller Ten Hag himself, is the dad in Malcolm in the Middle. See this, guys? It's a circle of life. You know what I'm saying? What are we on? What are we on about? Anyway, right. So let's crack on with the latest stuff, guys. So yeah, Jadon Sancho, it's a bollocks topic, isn't it? Who really wants to discuss it? Who really wants to get so deep into this? We'll just have to wait and see if Ten Hag's going to sack him off or he's going to keep him. He may well decide that it's best for the squad and best for his authority to get rid of Jadon Sancho. And I still think that if that's going to happen, he's just going to have to be benching him for a few months. He's going to go in January somewhere. Surely Jadon Sancho's not going to want to run down the rest of his contract at United, even if he is on big money, not playing any football whatsoever. And that's the decision that Ten Hag's going to have to make if he's going to stick to his guns. Okay, if he's going to stick to his guns, then that's the decision he has to make. But I actually do believe, based on what's going on with Antony, that maybe Erik Ten Hag will have to sort of try and repair this relationship with Sancho. And do you know what? He doesn't have to, but it's on Jadon Sancho here. Jadon Sancho needs to show some bollocks in this scenario now. He's come out, he's publicly called the manager a liar, and he basically needs to come out now and repair the situation himself. He needs to publicly apologise. He needs to have these repair chats with Ten Hag and the coaching staff, and maybe some of the players in the squad as well. Hold his hands up, say, I was wrong, I'm sorry, and I want to try and give it my all for United, and I'm going to do so. Unless he does that, I don't see there being a way back for Jadon Sancho, sadly. Yeah, Paul says Sancho hopes that Ten Hag will forget about it when the club resumes. I don't think he will forget about it unless Jadon Sancho really does publicly apologise. If Sancho apologises and is the bigger man here and tries to repair the situation himself, then I think it's okay. I think it might be okay. But unless he does something drastic like that, which, well, at the moment doesn't look like he's going to, he probably will not be being brought back into the side, sadly. Okay, I'm just going to get into the chat for 2 minutes about Sancho. Get your thoughts in and your opinions in here about the Sancho situation very quickly. Then I'm going to move on to a couple of other bits and bobs of Man United news that we've got, obviously. But we are just going to have a dip in the live chat for a couple of minutes and read a few comments out about Sancho. So get your thoughts in there. Bruce says Sancho can help Slabby making tea and sandwiches in the canteen. I guess so. Yeah, that's a good idea, mate. I mean, Slabby's probably got that on lock, to be fair. You see the size of the guy, mate. He's a sandwich-making machine, that guy. But fair play, Sancho could help him, I suppose. Purpose has long gone on the days where he could be forced to clean everyone's boots. Send him to SAS boot camp for a week. That's a good point. I know. That's what he should be doing, lad. He should be on tea-making duty or sandwich-making duty. But unfortunately, these guys have got so much player power. They get so much money. They've got such big egos. You can't beast them like you used to, mate. And it's sad. Yes, indeed. Sancho won't play this season, says Paul. Tafiso brings up an interesting point. Says, why would you target players who are having mental issues, though? Right, okay, this is a fair point, because obviously we know that Jadon Sancho was struggling mentally last season. He of course, was sent away to try and get himself right mentally to the Netherlands, where he was training and working with psychologists and these sorts of things. And as I said yesterday, making fun of mental health or anything, it's nothing that should be being done. It's a serious thing. It doesn't matter if you're a millionaire, billionaire, you can still succumb to the rigors of mental illness. And we should certainly try and respect that as much as possible. But at the same time, you know, United have to take the stance of trying to help people in that way, but we can't have any passengers or hangers on. You know, we are a professional football club. You can't just play somebody because they're mentally ill. You know, or you can't forgive somebody necessarily for doing wrong so easily just because maybe they've got some mental problems. You know, I'm not making light of these mental issues. I'm not at all. But you can't keep making allowances for it. We tried to do that last season. People forget that Ten Hag did send him away for a few months and did allow him that time away to try and get right. And this is a way for Ten Hag to try and sort of give him a kick in the public domain to try and help him, I think, to try and get him back on track. It has backfired, but you can't just keep making allowances for people. That's the problem. Look, you can try and help him as much as possible, mentally speaking, but if you're playing shite, if you're being a shite player, if you're not doing your job properly, there's only so much you can take. There's only so much you can take. So I don't think anybody's necessarily targeting him right now, but he's up for punishment. He's up for scrutiny just the same as anybody else, regardless of the mental state of the guy. You know, I'm not pretending like it's not a serious thing, because I'm sure it is a serious thing. But he still has to be expected to reach the same standards and meet the same standards as the rest of the squad, I think. Rottis, hello, how you doing there? Welcome in there. The Glazers don't see things that way. They only see dollar signs. Sancho isn't going anywhere. Fair play, the mustard. Well, maybe if they can sell him and recoup some of that cash. Berber says, everyone's different, but personally, playing football and training was the one thing that switches your mind off for a while. That's fair as well, yep. Face facts, the club's a mess. Oh, it definitely is, Peter Venkman, 100% now. Get in there, you Ghostbusting legend. I appreciate you. You know, he's just the one that stepped out of line. Yeah. Well, it's backfired, definitely. Can't keep making allowances. It's fair, yes, indeed. Ishmael thinks that it stinks of bad man management on Ten Hag's part. He knows what kind of guy he is. He worked with him for over a year and he still calls him out publicly. Pressure has got to him. Hey, maybe Ishmael Melames. That's interesting. It certainly has backfired. I guess he hasn't read this situation well. Because perhaps a behind the closed doors conversation about his training and mentality needs to be had. But you know what? He probably already has done all of that. So you look at what Giggsy said earlier. And, you know, think about this for a second. So Giggsy suggested that probably Ten Hag has tried to do all that. So Giggs said that Ten Hag has sent him away to get fit. He's tried him in different positions, and for me calling him out publicly is probably the last straw or the last try to get the best out of Sancho. So I think it has backfired, but I think Ten Hag maybe has actually explored all the other possibilities to try and get Jadon Sancho back on track and to help him. He probably has done that. Look at what we did last season, sending him away for a few months. He probably has done that. But yeah, exactly. Timmy says the Dutch mentality is to speak one's mind. Exactly. So the mentality of Ten Hag, he's a blunt individual. He says it how it is. And I think it maybe has backfired with Jadon. I mean, let's just be honest now. Okay, yes, mental health and issues and these things are very serious. Let's not pretend they're not. But is it a generational thing here as well? Let's just be honest, guys, because I'm of a different generation of Jadon Sancho. I'm actually, believe it or not, I know I don't look it, but believe it or not, I'm 13 years older than Jadon Sancho, which is depressing as fuck. You know, I know I don't look it, guys. I don't look like about mid-20s, but, you know, I am actually 36 now. And even my generation, we were used to getting beasted at school or, you know, not getting a participation medal. If you were a loser, you were a fucking loser. You know what I'm saying? And the generations before my generation, even more so. And the generations before that generation, even more so. My granddad was tougher than my dad, and my dad was tougher than me. That's the way it is. I think that's the way it is, guys. I think that everybody in this modern society is getting softer by the day. That's just my humble opinion on it. And so you've got a lot of people who can't take criticism. And the modern society, unfortunately, particularly the younger generations, just seem to be getting softer, guys. And so therefore, when somebody does call them out on something, they get all butthurt about it. You know what I'm saying? They get all hurt about it. And in reality, you just got to take it on the chin, and try and move forward. But there you go. A fair play to McKay. He blames the internet as well. He's been staying up all night playing Fortnite. Yeah, the guy also says it's a generational thing nowadays. People are soft. I mean, not everybody. There's still some very, very tough mentally people out there, but I think it's just less so. Maybe percentage-wise less so than the generation before. Welsh Hunter says, today is the you hurt my feelings generation, sadly. Yeah, I think that's fair. Paul says, hey, I'm almost 70. You're just a lad. Hey, well, there you go, Paul. You know, you're probably a hard bastard, Paul. You know what I mean? That's what I mean. The older generations had to... You know, you got caned at school and stuff like that. You know, things are just getting progressively softer now. It's political correctness gone mad, says Drew. No way you're in your 30s. Well, thank you, Ishmael. I mean, the hairline suggests that I am, lad. Yeah, that's it, that guy also says. Anyway, I'm not making light of mental issues. I'm just saying that I personally do think that things have got softer, certainly in football. Football, you used to be able to be a lot more of a disciplinarian when it comes to being a coach. Just look at people like Brian Clough. Go back to Brian Clough. You know, imagine Brian Clough, there's footage of him berating his players in training for missing shots on goal, you know. Remember that famous quote from Brian Clough? For missing the target from there, you want bloody shooting. Remember that? That's Brian Clough. That's a quote from Brian Clough to one of his players who was doing poor in training, right? You know, imagine saying that now. They go, wait a second, he's suggesting that this guy should be shot. Cancel him. You know what I'm saying? Like, things have changed. Maybe they've changed for the better in some ways, but things have changed. And look, it was obviously much more firm back in the day when it comes to management. You could give a player a clip round the ear. You know, Brian Clough punched Roy Keane. You know what I mean? This is a different generation. Brian Clough came on a pitch when there was a pitch invasion, and he started throwing right hooks at his own fans. You know what I'm saying? This is a different generation. Could you imagine that? If there was a pitch invasion going on and Eric Ten Hag comes on the pitch and starts right hooking Manchester United supporters who were celebrating on the pitch. Could you imagine that? This is the sort of generation we're talking about. Brian Clough, different sort of time. Different time. What a legend, by the way, Brian Clough. What a legend. The greatest manager never to manage England. What an absolute hero and a legend, no doubt about it. In fact, if you're talking about some of the great managers of all time, he's right up there because what he was able to do with different clubs just to instantly take them to be successful, I mean, it's pretty much unmatched. Yeah, okay, look, there's longevity and exceptional managerial ability. People like Sir Alex Ferguson is probably the best of all time, of course. But Brian Clough, with his ability to just change a club and make them successful in a short time, what a fucking legend. Red Adair, thank you so much for getting in here, bro, with another super chat. This guy's going ham. Get a cheeky sue in there for this guy. He says, tough love, pigs, softly, softly. Got the piss taken. Okay, then, Red Adair. Yeah, fair play. I think maybe it's got a bit of softly, softly these days. I think tough love is what Ten Hag's trying to do with the squad in general and with Sancho in this situation. Tough love. Sometimes tough love is good, you know. DJ Disco Day says Chuck Norris once uppercutted a horse. It's now known as a giraffe. Get in there, my son. Go on. Love that. Punching his own fans when they were misbehaving. Legend. Exactly, Freedom Johnny. That's the sort of guy that Cloughie was. He was a fucking legend. Cloughie telling these that they're cheats. Yeah, he's that movie with Michael Sheen is absolutely brilliant, by the way. The Damned United, where he's like, you can take all your trophies and all your medals, and you can throw them in the rubbish, because they're all meaningless, because you cheated for all of them, or whatever he says. I can't remember the old monologue or whatever, but absolutely true, you know, calling them a bunch of cheats, saying that they won all their things wrongly, and that's the team that he's gone in there to take over. What a fucking legend. What an absolute legend. Cloughie was immense, wasn't he, to me? Yeah, definitely. In fact, my mum once waited a table for Brian Clough at a hotel. My mum used to work at a hotel, and she once waited a table for Brian Clough. And this is the sort of guy Brian Clough was. Brian Clough, they had some, I don't know what they had for dinner, but she was serving him. And Brian Clough said to her, he was very nice apparently, but he said to her, he was like, can you bring me some red sauce, love, and the bottle, please, not one of these container fucking, you know, pieces of gash. He wanted the bottle. When Cloughie wants the bottle, he gets the bottle. You know what I'm saying? That's the sort of man he is. No nonsense. Wants the whole bottle of ketchup. You know what I'm saying? Legend. Thanks for subscribing, Apex Carpio. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Thank you for hitting that subscribe button. Yes, guys, if you guys are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. I reckon Cloughie had scallops and boiled potatoes as massy. He didn't funny around with that scallop muck, lad. He was a pie and mash type lad. I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, fair play to you. Bloody Northerners says Burber. That's it. Boiled potatoes and lamb's tongue, maybe. Back when society had manners. Glad he said red sauce and not ketchup, says Freedom Journey. Okay, so there you go. He wanted the red sauce and he wanted the bottle, mate. None of these, you know, little pots or whatever crap that they come in. He wanted the whole lot. Nick Rathy, thanks for being a member for a year, bro. No, for a month, sorry. He says, love you, mate. Wish you health for the rest of the year. Thank you very much, Nick Rathy, bro. That's very kind of you, bro. Oh, yeah, the sachets are crap. Let's get a #1 in there. Thanks you for getting your member emoji in there, bro. I appreciate that. Or your member comment. Yes, indeed. How's things, my Malta? You what? Not too shabby there, MJG. You what? Okay, anyway. Shemian says that story was a bit of a letdown. Thought you were going to say it was your dad. Well, I don't know what's gone on. I've always thought maybe I was the milkman's. Maybe it turned out I was Brian Clough's. You know what I'm saying? Brian Clough is known to once say to my dad, for missing the target from there, you want bloody shooting. You know what I mean? Oh, Cloughie scored a lot of goals, mate, in the Football League. A lot of goals. Yes, he did. Right, okay, anyway, let's move on. Let's move on with the next bits and bobs of news we've got, guys. So just a little couple of things to discuss. So look, obviously Amrabat's injury. Let's just talk about that for a second. So he has left you know, Morocco duty, basically. Look at this. So here's some information on Amrabat's injury. So he's officially left international duty with Morocco due to injury. What a fucking shit show. This just gets worse and worse. I mean, last night we heard reports that there was you know, not too much belief of seriousness about the matter. So apparently there was a report from Morocco that says that Sofiane Amrabat's injury is not a major setback. Morocco's manager has replaced him in the squad to give him a chance to get back to 100% fitness ahead of his new adventure at Manchester United. So hopefully that's the case. Hopefully this is really nothing serious. But we know that, well, there was some reports at least from The Athletic that he had some sort of a back injury during his medical, but nothing serious enough to, you know, scupper the move. But this is serious, though, guys. When another player has got an injury at United, we've signed another injured player, and we've got to wait for him to get back to fitness. It's a debacle, isn't it? So he has left Morocco duty. It's an absolute nightmare, and we just got to hope that it is really nothing serious and that maybe he'll be fit to play within a couple of games' time or even in the next game. I know, Northman, we signed a player with an injury. Kenny says, how are these players passing medicals? It's because we're desperate, and we're like, oh, this guy's got a gammy leg, has he? This guy's got back, this guy's turned up on a Zimmer frame, this guy's rolled in a wheelchair, let's just sign him up because we're desperate for players. I think that's essentially what's going on, really. But anyway, that is the news on Amrabat. Nothing too much to discuss. Let's hope it's not that serious. We do know that there is the EPL 25-man squad is being submitted soon as well. There's a possibility that Donny van de Beek will not be in that. So Ty Marshall from the MEN reporting that Manchester United must confirm their 25-man Premier League squad by Wednesday the 13th of September, and that Donny van de Beek is in danger of being left out of it. Galatasaray and Fenerbahce have shown interest in Van de Beek, but a deal is not guaranteed. I want to tell you something. With the issues we've got in our midfield right now, Mason Mount being injured and being bang average gash, and Amrabat being injured, and some of the options we've got in midfield, it wouldn't hurt to have Donny van de Beek registered. I'll be totally honest, As much as we may try and get rid of this guy, we haven't been able to. And crikey, we could probably do with him, in all fairness. He actually had a good pre-season. We could probably do with him, guys, with the depth issues we've got in that midfield. Smash a 1 if you think we should keep hold of Donny van de Beek. Smash a 2 if you think he should never play for us ever again. But crikey, I feel like we actually need him right now based on some injury problems we've got. Just as a squad player, obviously, not as a first teamer or anything. But as a squad player, we could certainly do worse. He's a decent technical player. And we've got injury issues. Freedom thinks we should. Kenny says never play for us again. So does Northman. Steven says yes. Bruce says yes. Jody says yes. We could do with Fred. We actually could, Madhouse. Yeah, Kai says yes. SDJ says no. Big One says John Blatchford. I know, Gore getting game time. Well, fair enough. If the youngsters get the opportunities, if when Kobe Mainoo's back, he gets the opportunities, and people like Gore, and if they actually do get the opportunities, fair enough, because they might have a higher ceiling and more potential in the future. But, I still think that Donny van de Beek is not a bad option. It's not a bad option at all. Bring back Donald Love. Louis van Gaal's Valentine's Day choice. I mean, Louis van Gaal was mental, wasn't he? You fat man. My name is Louis van Gaal, and I like my players to be horny, and my players need to play in the team. And if they're going to play in the team on Valentine's Day, they need to be very horny and not ejaculate. Otherwise, they will lose their testosterone. And if they have love in their name or something like this, then they get in my team because I'm a romantic individual who likes my players to be horny. So Donald Love will play on February 14th. Remember that? It's so random. Remember that, guys? Donald Love played for Man United. He got his debut from Louis van Gaal. Louis van Gaal put him in there, and it was on Valentine's Day. Louis van Gaal's a weirdo, mate. He's so odd. But he's awesome, though. Don't get me wrong, he's awesome. But he is so odd. Who does that? Let's just bang in Donald Love because it's Valentine's Day. That is odd. That's very odd. Anyway, wanking ban. Donald Love does sound like a porn star. You're right about that, Timmy. Yeah, so true. He was erratic, wasn't he? See you, fat man. Right, anyway, right, let's crack on. So, look, I'll just briefly cover the Antony claims again from yesterday. There's nothing too much more that's come out, but I guess I'll mention it. So, another woman, obviously Ingrid Lane, has claimed in a television interview that Antony invited her to his house and pushed her against a wall, which led to banging her head. He tried to have a relationship with me, and I didn't want to, Lena claimed in the interview. He pushed me against the wall, and I hit my head. My purpose was just busyness. Arriving there at his invitation, I realised he had ulterior motives. Okay, I should probably keep my cards close to the chest on this one, but I am concerned when somebody invites you around their house, a bloke, and you turn up and, what you think's going to happen? What you going there to play a game of cards? I don't think it's, I don't think it's a consent. Of course, that's not consent, just going around somebody's house. Of course it's not consent. But at the same time, isn't it asking for trouble? Anyway, so we can't wait. We've got to wait to see more of this interview that's coming out. Apparently on Record TV, that's coming out soon. That's coming out soon about this interview with more testimony about it. So we'll find out sort of what it says. Again, it doesn't mean that Antony's guilty. Like I would like to say, it doesn't mean Antony's guilty. We have to wait and see how that plays out. Okay. And like we say, he's got domestic abuse allegations against him at this moment in time, which is going to affect Manchester United. He may well... look, he may well not play for us for a little while. He may well be suspended. He may well have faith still kept in him, and he might still play for us. We don't know. And the Sancho situation is an interesting one as well, because we've got issues with right wingers. But as I say, he's accused of domestic abuse by his former girlfriend. And he's also accused of violence against 2 other women. The first says that she was assaulted at the exit of a nightclub. The second was allegedly pushed against the wall by the player after she refused to have sex with him. So, look, these are very strong allegations. If it's true, obviously Antony's a dirtbag. Of course. Of course he's an absolute dirtbag if this is true. You can't be doing that. Just because you've invited somebody around your house doesn't mean that you're entitled to anything. That's the reality. That's what I'd like to reiterate. But obviously... You know, it's not so clear cut, this situation though. It does sound very damning, Tad Bakes. There's 3 different women that have come out and accused him of things. But as I would like to say again, doesn't mean just because there's 3 or 300 that it's true. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's true. But we do have to let the investigations in Brazil take place and for all this to, you know, come to light, really, before we can make a true judgment on it. But the more cases that are mounting up against Antony, the worse it is for the club. And just to take away the person from this thing at this moment in time as well, Man United probably do need to suspend him just to safeguard the reputation of the football club a little bit here, because there is 3 different accusations against him from 3 different women now. This isn't 1, this is 3, and that's serious. And they need to be, of course, investigated, and they even need to be proven to be correct or false. But it is very concerning, and I think Man United probably do need to do the right thing now and suspend him, even though a little while ago I wouldn't have said that. But because there's now 3 cases, I think it's poor PR stuff from United to stick with him in the squad and to play him. You know, and for Antony as well, to protect the guy, he's going to receive a lot of abuse if he's playing, etc., for Manchester United after the internationals. He's been dropped from Brazilian's international team. That sort of tells you a story as well. Like, they weren't prepared to deal with the PR backlash. So I think, and ultimately, United probably will suspend him. What do you think, guys? Smash a 1 in the chat if you think that Antony will end up being suspended by Manchester United. Thank you, Tad Bakes, for getting in with your super chat, though, bro. Well, he was away, Tommy Ball, for it, but of course he was dropped from the Brazilian national side because of it. You know, so there you go. There you go. How do we manage to find these? Like, I swear we need to do investigations in every player we try to sign, says Jonathan Pearl. Exactly. Philip says, so Antony invited Mr. P around. You wouldn't expect to lie down, says Philip Chapman. I don't know. I'd expect, based on what's happening now, to receive a punch in the face, mate. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't go round Antony's house, lad. That house gets in there. You know, lots of 1s coming in here. Yes, indeed. Lots of 1s coming in here, guys. Nice one. It's a very tough situation anyway. Who knows? Who knows what I'm saying? It's a tough situation. It's a disgrace and a nonsense. Roy Keane wouldn't be throwing punches. So, look, these claims are against Antony. We've got to let them play out. I'm going to try and say something positive now, because this has all been very negative again in regard to Antony. We've talked about Sancho. We try to stay away from the negative stuff, but it is obviously a big story at the moment, and it's a disgrace and a nonsense. But look, let's talk about this for a second here. Bruno Fernandez, let's just give Bruno Fernandez some praise. If he had some finishers at the top of the pitch who were able to put in the goals, and take his chances, we'd be talking about Bruno as the absolute midfield maestro of his generation, I believe, because it's only the goals that are missing from Manchester United's team. Bruno Fernandez's chance creation is undeniable. People will say, oh, he gives the ball away a lot. He also plays a shitload of forward passes and creates loads of stuff. You saw Kevin De Bruyne the other day rating Bruno Fernandes as the best midfielder or the best creative player in the league, and that's coming from De Bruyne. And the reason for that is because he creates a shitload of chances and he's super intelligent. He works like a tank out there. He works like an absolute tank. Thank you, Gungshi. Yes, smash the likes on the video if you haven't done so. Thank you, Gungshi. Look at these stats from Bruno Fernandes anyway. So, chances created in the Premier League since the 2020-21 season to now. Bruno Fernandes, 317 chances created in the Premier League. Kevin De Bruyne, 266 chances created. The difference with Kevin De Bruyne and Bruno is that Man City have got a much better overall team, and they've got finishers up the top there who take the chances. Man United, unfortunately, have struggled for a proper striker since, well, I guess Ronaldo, you could argue, but, you know, before that, really, you're talking, I guess Cavani was proper as well, but, you know, Ibrahimovic, maybe, I don't know. We haven't really had a proper, in their prime, striker for a long time, actually. Certainly years. But look at this. Chances created. Bruno Fernandes since the 2020-21 season, 317. Kevin De Bruyne, 266. Trent Alexander-Arnold, 247. I mean, those are undeniable statistics. The guy's an absolute baller. The guy just creates chances for fun. So, yeah, exactly. He's the heart of Manchester United. He is, of course, a very important player for Man United. He's the captain of Man United. I just wanted to bring this stat up. It's a random stat. There's no real reason to be talking about Bruno Fernandes right now, but I wanted to say something positive. I saw this earlier, and it is positive when you think about what a creative beast this guy is. He's a complete beast. He's an absolute beast. I'm very happy we've got Bruno Fernandes. Hopefully Rasmus Højlund, who looks like an absolute physical specimen and a great hold-up man and has great vision and stuff for a 20-year-old, hopefully he's going to be able to bring the best out in Bruno by capping off his chances that he does create. That's true, Berber. The last striker we had in their pomp was probably RVP. That's so true, yeah, in their actual prime. Still left in their prime because, yeah, Ibra was 34, 35 when we got him, so he wasn't in his prime either, even though he's amazing. Yeah, that's why it's there. Oh, okay, Ian Pritch, interesting. Well, it's his birthday today, is it? Oh, yeah, 29 today, it does say that. Happy birthday, Bruno! Let's get some birthday cake emojis in there, come on. I thought Cavani was pretty good for us the first year he was here. Obviously, not so much the next year because he fell by the wayside when Ronaldo came in. MUFC Winners TV, what's going on? Says the hate on Bruno wouldn't be if his name was Brian. Could you imagine if his name was like Brian Foster and he was from Stoke-on-Trent or something? I don't know. It's a fair point. It's a fair point. Maybe just being Portuguese, I don't know. Maybe he has more. I don't know, actually. I don't know. But maybe if his name was Brian Foster. Interesting, lad. Get in there, my son. We need to win something big soon or Bruno will be off. Just my opinion, but I can see him in a Real Madrid shirt. That would be filth, lad. Yeah, true. He does deserve to be competing for the best things. Jarvis says Bruno will be even better when Amrabat comes in. Freedom to roam. So true, mate. Freedom to roam, lad. And Rasmus Højlund up there, hopefully capping off his chances. Get in there, Jarvis, you legend. Views on Harry Kane, who now plays for my club. I think he's one of the best strikers in the world, and United should have signed him. I think he'll probably score against us when we play you guys in the Champions League group stage. He's a absolute baller, mate. I've always wanted him at United, to be honest. So I'm pretty disappointed that we never even tried. But that's the Glazer shithouses for you. Right, I'm going to get stuck into the live chat now, guys. We've discussed all the latest news. So Sancho, he's in a battle with Ten Hag. There's reports that there may be little sympathy from various players in the squad due to Sancho's behaviour and calling out Ten Hag publicly like that. Reports and some quotes from Giggs, reports from Webby and O'Neill that Ryan Giggs has said that he thinks that Sancho is essentially a player that he thought would do really good things at United and just haven't really lived up to the hype and just hasn't really kicked on, and he thought he was expecting a lot better things from it, as was I. Giggsy's also basically said that he feels like Ten Hag and his methods, the reason why he sort of talked about Sancho publicly was one final attempt to try and get him back on track and maybe sort himself out, and this was like a public kick up the arse, essentially. That's what Giggsy has said, essentially. He tried him in different positions, and calling him out publicly is probably the last straw, the last try to get the best out of Sancho. That's probably what the case is. Reports that there was some interest from Saudi Arabia in Jadon Sancho, but they couldn't agree a deal with Manchester United. Just a speculative conversation was had, and Man United wanted a £50 million obligation to buy as a minimum, and there was no deal that was able to be made. That may not be the case, but there is a speculative report that says that Saudi team El Titifaki were interested in bringing in Jadon Sancho at one point. Amrabat is injured, of course. Reports come out that suggest that it's nothing too serious, and he has left the Morocco squad though, which is sounding reasonably serious, but apparently his manager for Morocco just allowing him time to repair himself because he's joined Manchester United. We are due to submit our 23-man squad, or at least confirm our 23-man Premier League squad. There's some speculation that Donny van de Beek might not be in that squad. Perhaps we need him right now based on the fact we have injury issues. Antony's facing scrutiny, of course, for domestic abuse allegations. We're waiting to see what the club are going to do on this one, whether they decide to suspend him or whether they stick by him. But there is now 3 different women alleging crimes that Antony has committed, which is horrendous. So that's the latest news in the afternoon, guys. Now, I'm going to get stuck into the live chat. Before I do, I'm going to go over to Twitter and shout out everyone who's given us a retweet. Big up yourselves, everyone. Do give us a cheeky little share if you haven't done so. 15 reposts on the twit. Thank you, every one of you, for giving us a share. Aaron Homeyard, you legend. Stephen Braun, Wizzy Key, Chris MUFC, Feline Fur, Kieran Watts, Richard Wisterpeck, G-Dad Gamer, Ryan Berberspin 9, a.k.a. The Gaming Simp, Humble and Wise, Mr. Michael Paul, Kane, Tommy Boyle, Mike C, Chris Foy, Sanjay Ramatar, and Boomy. We've had a couple more reposts as well. Thank you, seriously, each and every one of you legends that does give us a share out there. It really does help the channel out, and I very much appreciate you. Also, MMCG 2022, the guy who says 7-0 haha in his name, scumbag, Liverpool scummer, has given us a repost as well. What a scummer. Anyway, okay. Thank you, everybody, for giving us a share there. Much appreciated. Now to get into the live chat. As always, drop a thumbs up on this video if you haven't done so. Hit the subscribe button. We are approaching 75,000 subscribers. That's the next milestone, which is amazing. Please do hit that subscribe button if you're new. Have your say. You can chat in the live chat if you're subscribed. You only need to be subscribed for 1 second in order to have your say and to chat. So get your thoughts in there. Get your opinions in there. Now hit the subscribe. Smash the like button. Help us get to 269 likes. And have your say. Now's the time. I'm going to get stuck into the live chat. Nick Rathy says, no Rashford in the Ballon d'Or rankings. Wow, nothing new by France football. Messi lovers. Yeah, I know. If Bukayo Saka's getting in there, and I get it, Bukayo Saka had a good season last season. If he's getting in there, surely Rashford should be getting in there too. I couldn't agree more with you. I'm a little bit strange. I think that's a bit strange. Don't understand that. Rashford scored 30 goals in all competitions last season, 17 in the Premier League. Was very, very influential for Manchester United and won our internal awards and everything as a football club. And he's not even making the list. I think that's sus, mate. Phil Jones, our only hope. Tommy says, mental health is such an umbrella phrase and awful, especially using the word mental in the phrase. It's an insult in itself, but at the same time, MH is used as an excuse for poor behaviour by millennials. Well, fair, interesting, Tommy boy. I mean, I certainly think that mental health is serious. Like we've discussed, obviously, people in all walks of life with all levels of accolades and careers and families end up doing the most horrendous thing and obviously taking their own lives. So, you know, mental health is serious, but maybe it does get bandied around a little bit too much, I suppose, maybe, and it's used as an excuse by some, not saying all, definitely not, but by some, it's a fair point. Saka is good, Claire. Saka is good, but so's Marcus Rashford. Rashford should be in there, absolutely, yep. For me, so Sancho, Antony, Maguire, Evans, McTominay, Martial. Yeah, I agree with the majority of that list, to be fair, lad. Certainly do. I mean, Antony, look, obviously this situation needs to be proven first, but he will not be playing for us if he's found to be guilty of any of those allegations. Zlatan was immense, wasn't he? What a player. Huge rugby game tonight. I'll fair play to you, Timmy. Stones as well. Need to replace them. Michelle Ellis, what's going on, says nearly at Man United's capacity in sub. That's awesome. Michelle Ellis, you're absolutely right. So I think the official capacity of United right now is it 74,410? That's what it says on Google anyway. I think they were adding some like rail seating or stuff and the capacity might have changed a little bit. I don't know. But you're right. We're actually only a couple of hundred away now from United's capacity. That is insane, isn't it? Love that. Thank you so much, Michelle Ellis. You're so right. Very close. Have dinner with one football player if you're liking who it would be. Eric Cantona, mate. Eric Cantona. What a bloody legend, mate. Have a glass of vino and some poisson with Eric Cantona would be bloody awesome. I would love that. And if you're talking about a player who's currently playing right now, I'll go with the Butcher Martinez. You know he's bringing a great cut of meat. You know what I'm saying? Mate, that sounded a bit wrong, actually. That sounded a bit wrong. I meant because he's the Butcher, mate. He's going to be bringing you a fantastic steak. You know what I'm saying? Fucking hell. You got filthy minds, guys. Fucking hell. Onana and Rasmus went in shortlist for boring Dior awards. Yeah. Should keep Snapchat on desk duties. He'll go better with typing than playing football. Hey, fair play to you, Dimmy. Rasmus had to score a decent number of goals alongside Rashi. Don't get rated in those goals scored. Yeah, fair enough. Rasmus has got pressure on him to score goals, isn't he? He's actually got a lot of pressure on him. Police to get running the team, says Alan O'Donnell. Completely agree. Smack a one if you agree with that. I do as well. Bring back the piano player Sanchez and we have a happy Friday party. Oh my goodness me. That would be literally, yes, exactly. Friday is the day where we're waiting for more horrendous news. Something like that would complete this week of true gashness, wouldn't it? Imagine that. Mr. Bruno Mars impersonator himself. Butcher, get in there. Yes, the Butcher. Hit the like button. Thank you, Timmy. Scarlett O'Hara said tomorrow's another day. Sardines on toast. Ah, good shout. Yeah. Joshua Andrews, don't know actually, bud. I'll be doing the daily updates over on the FIFA gaming channel, Flying Pig Gaming, and I might do some evening streams over here because the game drops at midnight. So I don't know actually yet, Joshua Andrews, bro. We'll see. I might do it on the gaming channel. I think I should do it on the gaming channel and keep the strictly United vibes. There you go. But yeah, there's going to be more gaming stuff coming out soon on the gaming channel. Make sure you subscribe to the gaming channel, Flying Pig Gaming. Don't know if one of the mods can put a link in the live chat. That'd be amazing. But yeah, make sure you subscribe to the gaming channel, Flying Pig Gaming. There will be some gaming content coming with the FIFA coming out, new FIFA or EAFC, whatever you want to call it. It's changed its name. Guys, I better wrap this stream up. But thank you, SDJ, for the super chat here with a $5 super chat. Says, love your quick wit. Thank you, SDJC Correa. Great name there, my son. Thank you so much there, bro. That is a large score in Scrabble, by the way. Your name right there, bro. Fucking get in there, SDJC Correa. Appreciate you, bro. Get some love in there for him. I'm going to pretty much have to wrap this stream up. Yeah, I think doing it on the gaming channel makes sense as well, Travis. Try and grow that channel and keep the Man United news separate and boost the algorithm that way, because I don't think the algorithm likes it when you do gaming content and Man United content, to be fair. So I might just stick to doing a couple of vids over here about United and doing the streams over there on the gaming channel. I think you might be onto something there, Mr. Travadinho. Right, anyway, guys, I'm going to have to wrap it up, guys. We've been on here for an hour and 15 minutes. Time just flies when I'm having fun talking to the Bacon Brigade. But do us the honour of smashing the like before you go. Hit the thumbs up button. Come back after this video is finished and get your thoughts and opinions in there. Please do smash the likes on it. Subscribe. Click the bell icon for notifications so you don't miss the streams. Check the links out in the description down below. You can follow us on all social media accounts at Flying Pig United. Check out the website flyingpigunited.com as well. All links are in the description. Thank you each and every one of you legends for getting in here. Really do appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining. Who are your centre backs against the game against us? I feel sad for your defence. Well, based on who's fit and available right now, Nick, I guess it's going to have to be, let's hope the Butcher Martinez is fit and available, and Lindelof, you know, Martinez and Lindelof, I guess. Thank you, Manhouse. Thank you, Travis. Yeah, grow quicker that way. I think you're right, Travis, yes. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for getting in here, guys. The Hootman, D, Freedom, everyone, Drew, Alan, Timmy. Guys, thanks so much for joining in. See you soon. Come back and have your say afterwards, of course. The debate doesn't have to end there. And I'll see you on the next one. Thank you, Shin Knight, for subscribing. Yes, indeed. Subscribe if new, and I'll see you soon. I'll be back at 10 p.m.-ish, guys, for the evening news. If there is any big breaking news, I will, jump on and discuss it. But if not, see you at 10 o'clock-ish for the evening Manchester United rundown. See you then, folks. Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone. Have a great evening and afternoon, folks, and I'll see you later. Thanks for watching. And remember, Wednesday Seagulls. Hey, Jedi Stew, better late than never, mate. Hope you had a good one. When the seagulls follow the trawler, as this is because they sink. Go and subscribe to the gaming channel, guys. Just pinned it to the top of the live chat. Make sure you subscribe to Flying Pig Gaming if you're not. When the seagulls follow the trawler, as this is because they sink, sardines will be thrown into the sea. Thank you very much.